right, guys, here we go, man. It's that time of year, man. Excited. Again, for those that don't know, man, there's 800 basketball teams in the state of Louisiana, right at, and we're down to only 40 left, man. 40 left. Boys playoffs, state championships get kicked off tomorrow. We got with us, man. If you're just new to us, join us, man. We got with us two guys that are very detail oriented, man, and super tapped into the guys' game, man. Just really appreciate these guys for jumping on with us, man. Mr. Tatum from Preps Hoops and all thing everything, Mr. Josh Preston from J Preston Sports. Guys, y'all want to introduce yourself, man? We always want to give you guys an opportunity to kind of talk about what you guys do outside of this. Tatum, man, if you just want to kind of talk about prep hoops and the importance of that, and like you said, man, I was a college coach, man. Whenever you hear about a kid, first thing you do is get on the old interweb and Google that kid's name. So the more articles, like you said, the more tweets, the more stuff, the more database you got online, man. A lot more, I guess, credibility that goes with whoever is saying that kid is good. Talk about the importance about that, Tatum.
All right, so my name is Donald Tatum. I am a scout for Prep Hoops. Currently, Prep Hoops has 3 scouts. Preston Edwards and myself cover North and Central Louisiana, and we have Alan Shaw that covers Southern Louisiana. We do our best to get out there and see as many kids as possible, but it's important to join the Prep Hoops platform if you have a player that hopes to be recruited, especially if he's a kid that doesn't have a 4 or a 5-star by his name. The service that we provide is a scouting platform. We get to games, we write about the players, and we make an assessment based on their current capabilities and also try to make a projection as to what they would look like or should look like at the next level. The platform, it is a pay-for platform, but there are a lot of resources there, not just for the players, but there's also resources there for the parents that gives a lot of good information about recruiting. And there's also a lot of information there for coaches. On the Prep Hoops platform, we do have currently over 2,000 college coaches that subscribe to the platform, and they have access to go in, look at your player, see what we're writing about the player, and it also has resources that'll help you connect with coaches and maybe kind of narrow down your choices depending on what you expect for your player at the next level.
And let them know where they can find you at, man. Social media, shoot your DMs or anything they need to do to contact you.
All right, so go follow me on Instagram at Donald.Tatum73 on Instagram, and my X or Twitter is CPT_Tatum. On both of those platforms, you can find information about players, and I also pretty much any player that has a highlight or if he's had an outstanding performance, I try to share that information on my platform. You never know who's watching. You just never know who's watching. So give me a follow. I share information about players. I share information about scheduling. I share information about games. I share information about AAU tryouts, pretty much any and everything that's related to basketball. If I've got my eyes on it, I'll try to share it on my platform just to be a way to just keep the information flowing.
Absolutely, man. Look, man, really appreciate you for joining us, man. Guys, if y'all haven't already, make sure you click the like button. We're live on Facebook as well as YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, man, I'm going to go ahead and throw up Mr. Josh Preston's YouTube channel. Josh, you want to talk about where they can find you? We talked about it before, man. The guy's got 3,000 videos on YouTube, nearly 20,000 subscribers. He's done a lot for kids, especially in the South area in Louisiana, man. Just let them know where they can find you and kind of what you do.
Yeah, man, it's Josh Preston, Josh Preston's Video Vault on YouTube. Really, you can just type in my name and it'll probably pop up. Been doing it for a while now, solo, since, I don't know, about 2017. And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. It's all at J Preston Sports. And for TikTok, it's J Preston Sports 504. And, as far as the channel, you can get a membership. That's like $10 a month just to kind of help support. It's got get full games. You get the full games early. that type of deal. But really just a watch, a subscribe is great. And appreciate everybody that's watched and helped build the channel up, creeping up on 20,000. So hopefully we'll get there soon.
Love it, man. Love it, man. Look, guys, again, we're going to get a lot of comments from you guys as well. We're going to kind of talk about the breakdown. We're going to go through the games game by game here. Let's get them up there. So we got Monday's games kicking off first. See if we can get this one going, man. Tatum, man, this is a game that you've been talking about for weeks now, man. A game you've been kind of looking forward to. If you want to kick us off here, man, you got Lincoln Prep, Southern Lab, both took care of business with home games earlier this week. There's Southern Lab with a 10-point win over Central Catholic. Central Catholic was a 22 seed. They were making a run, but Southern Lab was a little bit too much there. And you got Lincoln Prep. They took care of business at home against J.S. Clark. This is the matchup that you've been talking about, the Grambling versus Southern Lab. What's your thoughts here, man? Some players to watch and thoughts on this matchup. First game of the tournament, man.
Yep. So the Lincoln Prep versus Southern Lab matchup, I think I've mentioned it for the past 3 weeks. There's a lot of history associated with this matchup. And generally in the past, it has seemed that Southern Lab has gotten the best of Lincoln Prep and or Grambling High in this matchup. But I'm a fan of history, but I also get the opportunity to see the Lincoln Prep kids play often. I know the coach, and I've gotten the opportunity to spend a lot of time in that gym. I think I've said it for the past 2 weeks. Antonio Hudson and the way that he has those boys defending, I find it very hard to believe that it's going to be a team that's going to be able to slow those boys down. Their leading scorer is Joseph Trey Spann. He's a kid that can get you 30 points on any given night. He's a Swiss Army knife. He shoots the 3-ball like a free throw. He can get to the mid-range. He also defends at a very high level. I'd put him up there with the top 5 defenders in the state, and he pretty much leads that team. There's a senior in Devin Burton that earns all his money down low in the paint. Zion Hicks. They've got a really good freshman, Jabari Livingston. And I don't know, I think we might have talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Fred Payne has got a younger brother that they call To the Payne that could end up being the secret weapon in this matchup. So Lincoln Prep versus Southern Lab. I'm going with the boys from Grambling. I think they are going to keep it going and get back on Crescent City, who they lost against in the semis last year.
Man, you already called it out. They already in the championship. And
I'm going with
Lincoln with the trophy. I love it, man. And I think something to kind of keep an eye on here, man. Shout out to 14OProductions.com. If you're a history buff and you're looking for like the history, 14O Productions is on Facebook, but they have a website. Southern Lab has won 16 state titles. That's only second to Zwolle, who's won 17. So if Southern Lab were to win a state title this year, they would tie the most in state history with 17, which that's crazy. Zwolle's won 17 state titles. Josh, man, what's your thoughts, man? You got any extra thoughts on this game here, man? I can't remember if you had seen Southern Lab, or you were going to try to get out there and watch them or not. But you got anything to add to this one?
Nah, not really. My input will more so be on the other side of the bracket with Crescent City.
All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into that one, man. Tatum's already claiming Lincoln Prep's the title, man. Crescent City and Hamilton Christian, they're just showing up for second, according to Tatum over here, man. But what's your thoughts, man? Can Crescent City hold down back-to-back state titles?
Yeah, I think so. It looks like they didn't have much trouble with MLK. That was a Friday night. I was kind of hurting that I couldn't get to any boys games that night. I was out in, as you know, in Hammond for the girls championships. But I think it's looking pretty good for Crescent City. I hadn't been able to look up, too many details on how that game played out. But I think still like I mentioned last time, Dwight McGee, worth the price of admission. Isaiah Stevens, another really good guard next to him, and then Cameron James and Kenneth Malarshaw. Those are the other two main guys. So I think they'll be looking pretty good, and as far as getting back to the championship, and should be a good one with them in Lincoln Prep.
I think that's kind of the matchup everyone's kind of hoping for. Crescent City, and was that was a rematch of when was that, Tatum? Because Crescent
Yeah,
City defeated
last year,
somebody
right?
else last year
They beat Lincoln Prep in the
in
semifinals
the
last year.
semis.
Simmons,
Yeah,
okay.
and you kind of feel like the semis was the championship last year. Is that what you're saying?
Well, look, I'm a huge fan of Lincoln Prep, but I also enjoy watching Crescent City play. I think it's going to be an amazing matchup. Uh, I'm not going to say that they're evenly matched because I'm going to go with my heart on this one, and I'm going right back to Lincoln Prep. They're a team that has made it down south, I think 9 out of the last 10 seasons, and every year they either get put out in the semis or they lose it in the finals. I think that this year, looking at this team, it's probably the most balanced team that Lincoln Prep has had. They generally go down there with a superstar, and the defense figures out a way to slow down whoever that star is. But this go around, they've got really good players 1 through 6, and I just think the balance that they have, along with the type of defense that they play, is just going to be too much for any team to overcome. No knock to Crescent City, but I'm going with the hometown boys.
Absolutely, Josh. What about you, man? You going on the other side of that? You going with your hometown boys or what?
Uh, I think I'll probably still roll with them, but I do think it's going to be kind of tough. I don't think. I think they lost a couple guys from last year. Giovanni Perez was a big time senior for them, but I think they'll probably still have enough to squeak by.
Yeah. And look, Josh just posted the last year's semifinal game between the two teams. Again, like that's what we're talking about, man. Just click the subscribe button. He's got 20,000 subscribers. It's free to subscribe. Just click the subscribe button on there, man. Let's get him down to 20,000. And he's got 3,000 videos, man. So you can always go back and watch. Um, we got two more games here. Well, three more games here on Monday. Pleasant Hill versus Georgetown. We didn't know a lot about either one of those teams, I believe. Georgetown was one of those teams that got the upset on the road. It is incredibly tough to win on the road in the playoffs, especially in the quarterfinals, as you really only saw Georgetown and East Iberville in this little group right here. Y'all got anything on Pleasant Hill, Georgetown, or that Franklin, East Iberville? Again, man, East Iberville, man, getting it done, going on the road and winning, that's a huge win for them. You got anything to add on any of these other three games on that Monday?
I can throw in something on Pleasant Hill. Pleasant Hill has one of the best 2026 players in the state, Javante Ford. He's a human highlight reel. The kid is bouncy. He's kind of like I mentioned with Trey Spann. He's a kid that can do anything on the court. I find it hard to believe that anybody's going to be able to stop him. And the other thing about that bracket with Pleasant Hill and Georgetown, on the other side of that bracket is Gibbsland Coleman. Gibbsland Coleman is a team that always makes it down south. So I think the matchup that I'm looking forward to seeing is Pleasant Hill and Gibbsland Coleman if they can get past their next game. But I'm taking Pleasant Hill.
Pleasant Hill, gotcha. Yeah, we got somebody in the comments, man, saying Plainview's ready to make a run. They might have a little something to say about that. Josh, what about you, man? You got anything else to kind of add to these three games? These are a little bit of the smaller classifications. Yeah. I'm trying to see who did East Iberville upset in that. Because that is is that non-select? Yeah, that's a non-select. So East Iberville went on the road with a 1-point win at Lakeview. Man, that's a tough place to play at, man. Tough place to win. So that's a huge win for them. Franklin defeated Haynesville by 3. They'll be playing on Tuesday. And you got Benton and Faraday. Faraday with a 16-point win and Benton with a 6-point win. You guys got anything else on Benton or Faraday or Franklin and East Iberville?
No, sir.
Negative.
It's all good, man. I'm trying to see. I remember we had talked about East Iberville's schedule. They had lost to Covington, defeated White Castle, lost to Live Oak. Oh, they're supposed to play Crescent City. That game got canceled. That would have been a good comparison for sure. It's going to be interesting, man. Be some fun ones to see there. Getting guys, tag anybody, man. Anybody that you know that's interested in boys basketball, man. We're breaking down all the games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We got 4 days in a row, 5 games each day. So 40 teams left. After Thursday, there'll only be 20 teams left. Again, this is crazy. 800 teams in boys and girls basketball, man. There's only 40 left. 1 week left of basketball. Comment your thoughts below, man. We're live on Facebook as well as YouTube. Again, and then here we see it, man. We got Zwally. Zwally with a shot at extending that state title run, man. What I say it was, it's something astronomical. 17 in a row. So I mean, that I don't think you never count out a Zwally team. Plainview, Gibson, Coleman. Tatum, man, you want to touch base again back on that Coleman? And anybody in the comments that knows something about Plainview, kind of let us know. Some other matchups here. We got Rose Pine went on the road to win at Newman. We had talked about that. I actually watched that live at the girls' game. Somebody had it live on the computer. That game was back and forth. The young man that everyone kept talking about in the comments, man, that point guard, man, he's been rolling. Yeah, the point guard had 17 in the fourth quarter to lead them with 31. I think his name's Hayden something for Rose Pine. But yeah, man, Tatum, lead us off, man. Let us know about Gibson Coleman and Plainview.
All right, so I have not got the opportunity to watch Plainview, but I've been able to see Gibson Coleman. I watched them play Minden, really tough. I watched them beat Lincoln Prep at a neutral site. I actually also watched them play Ruston really tight. Gibson Coleman is one of the toughest teams that you're going to see in the state. They boast a starting five that has probably played. I think each one of those kids has already played in 2 or 3 state championships. Those boys start playing varsity basketball when they're in the 7th and the 8th grade. They play AAU ball together. They literally play basketball with each other 24/7, 365. So I think the chemistry of Gibson Coleman is what I'm going to take in the semifinals over Plainview.
Josh, man, Country Day, man. You keep talking about them a lot. They definitely got, and you see in the comments, everybody's talking about it's Hayden Brister, man. Hayden Brister. Like, everyone in the comments, that's what we're talking about, right? It's the comments like that from you guys kind of tuning in. Just piqued the interest, man. And I was really locked into that game. And Hayden Brister freaking showed up. He literally put Rose Pine on his back. And I know we've been talking a lot about RJ from Newman, man, but Hayden Brister scoring 17 on the road in the fourth quarter to get it done at Newman, that's pretty tough, man. That's pretty impressive. But Josh, man, talk about Country Day, what they got going on over there, man, and they're taking on Dunham.
Yeah, that's going to be a real interesting matchup. I think really the matchup to watch is Herm Dyson against Elijah Haven. Elijah's obviously a 5-star football guy, top quarterback in 2027. But Herm Dyson is a real underrated kid. He's got good size. Him and Elijah are probably about the same size. Herm is kind of like just kind of does a little bit of everything for them, from playmaking, just rebounding, assists, all that good stuff. So I think that matchup could kind of decide a little bit. And then Kellen Brewer is probably their top guy. That's Corey Brewer's son, who's an assistant with the Pelicans, former NBA vet. And I'm kind of interested to see how Curtis McAllister do in this game too. He's still a freshman, and the last time I saw him, he was in the starting lineup at that point. He wasn't starting early in the season, but I guess he started playing better lately. So I think that'll be a pretty interesting game there. And I got to shout out Dunham's point guard, AJ Olivier. He's really kind of sets the table for everybody over there.
And Tatum, same thing, man. You got anything else to kind of add into that one? I think that's kind of a really big time matchup with Dunham and Country Day, man. A lot of guys, like Josh is saying, a lot of young guys as well. You got anything you want to add into that one?
Yeah, so I watched Dunham beat some of the top teams. I watched them beat Ash in particular. Dunham they just look really good 1 through 5. The Haven kid is special to be as good at basketball and football as he is. And he's a really mature player. He holds down the middle, anchors the defense. He can shoot the ball. He can get on the rim. Just the way he kind of leads that team, I would lean towards Dunham because that's the team that I know better. But it's definitely a game I'll be tuned in for.
That's a great comment right here, man. Gibson Coleman, 4th straight appearance, only Class C. Let's make it the last 2 years versus Class B. That's pretty cool. Appreciate that comment right there. So we got Dunham and Country Day, and then the winner of that takes on Calvary Baptist and Rose Pine. Is there any chance Hayden Brister can shock the world again, man? Went on the road. Got to give him credit, man. Went on the road at Newman. We talked about Newman's not as strong as it have been in the past. Calvary's arguably strong as they've ever been. What's our chances here, man? Can Rose Pine shock the world? It's a lot closer to being a home game for them, but Calvary Baptist is used to being down there, man. What's our thoughts on that one, man?
I like Rose Pine, but I've watched Calvary Baptist either beat or compete with some of the best teams in the state. I think the only two teams in the state that beat Calvary Baptist are Catholic and St. Thomas More. So I'm going to go with Calvary Baptist, led by the 5-star Tyrone Jameson, and to his left and his right with the transfer Jaden Hall and Bubba Smith with Robert Wright. And I'm missing one guy. Oh, and they got a 6'10", 6'11" kid named Justin. So I'm taking skill and size over everything, just because, and also I think they play probably one of the tougher schedules in the state, and they didn't just test themselves in the state. Calvary Baptist took themselves out of state to compete, to find out where they kind of measured up. So I think I mentioned a team being battle tested. I think Calvary Baptist is easily one of the most battle tested teams in the state right now.
Again, man, I'm a big time advocate for history and stuff, man. So if Rose Pine does, they've never won a state championship according to 1400 Productions. If they do make it to the state title game, it'll be only the third time in program history, and the last time they made it was 1991. So that's a long time, man. A lot of history on the line there. Josh, man, what's your thoughts, man? I mean, how many does Hayden Brister got to score, man, to upset Calvary Baptist?
Yeah, I haven't seen the kid, but or Rose Pine, but I guess I'd like to now. I mean, it's tough to see anybody taking down Calvary. Like Tatum mentioned, they've got 3 losses this year. It was I'm checking out the schedule now. It was Hannon by 2, St. Thomas More by 2, and Bossier by 1 in the last game of the season.
Last game of the season.
Yeah, so they I mean, like we mentioned, TJ is one of the top guards in the country, and they've got a couple other guys next to him, so I can't see anybody taking them down.
Yep. Hey, stars shining the brightest on the biggest stage, man. So shout out to Hayden Brister, man, to get his team to this stage. He's going to have some opportunities, and I'm pretty sure he's unsigned and under the radar. And if you show out and show up against this level of talent, man, opportunities don't go away. They go to somebody else. He's definitely got an opportunity to take advantage of that one, man. But so we're saying Calvary Baptist wins that one.
I like that saying.
Who's Calvary Baptist going to be playing in the championship game? Did we pick on the other side, Dunham and Country Day?
Dunham.
So Calvary Baptist and Dunham. Who we got taking away the hardware, man?
I'm taking Calvary Baptist, but I did want to shout out another kid from Rose Pine. Cody Calhoun is another player over there at Rose Pine. That's a part of that duo that's leading that Rose Pine squad. So watch out for Cody Calhoun to have a big game against Calvary Baptist. Both of those guys are going to have to play their best games in order to beat Calvary.
Has Calvary Baptist ever won a state title? I'm looking at it. It looks like they lost all 4 years they made it. Is that correct?
I don't know that they've ever won.
So according to this, 23, 22, 21, and 20. They
played Crescent City, I want to say 2 of those years.
Yeah, they lost to Newman in 23, lost to Southern Lab in 22, lost to Crescent City in 21, lost to Crescent City in 20. So, yeah. Now, granted, Rose Pine hasn't been in either. Calvary Baptist probably is sensing a lot of pressure as well, right? I mean, they haven't won a state title either. Rose Pine hasn't won a state title. I mean, somebody from this side is going to be competing for a state title, the first in program history. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on, man. Definitely something to keep an eye on. Got a lot of Rose Pine fans tuned in tonight, man. I can promise you there's going to be a lot of purple in the stands too, man. A lot of purple in the stands. They try to shock the world. Let's get us down into Class B, man. Avoyelles APC, man. They're talking about they already smoked Zwally by 20. That game was really, really early in the year. I had it pulled up earlier. Let me see. So that game was a rematch of November 11th, where APC defeated Zwolle 66-41. A lot can happen since November, but can you make up 25 points? I'm not sure. Then you got Lacassine and Silmsboro. A lot of people are talking about that young man from Lacassine being one of the top ones, one of the top players in that class, and surrounded with a lot of shooters. What y'all's thoughts on that Class B games? APC Zwolle and Lacassine Silmsboro.
So I'll start with Avoye versus Zwolle. I'm trying to remember the name of the two kids at Avoye, but I saw Avoye play this year. Avoye is one of the toughest teams in the state. They're a smaller class school, but they play the top teams in the state. Their point guard is a top 10 player in the state, not just by position, but a top 10 overall player in the state. And then his sidekick, man, I wish I could remember his name right now. Somebody just dropped it in the comments. But I'm taking Avoye Charter from here to make it all the way to the finals. They play all the tough teams. They can handle pressure. They shoot the ball well. They get to the goal really well. Avoye Charter is a well-oiled machine, and I'm not taking anybody to beat them in this next round.
Josh, what's your thoughts too, man? You got anything on those guys?
Yeah, these are two I haven't seen, but I'll roll with Tatum here and go with Avoye, even with Zwolle's history here. Just kind of, 66-51, and I was looking. They don't have football teams or anything, so I would think it's mostly the same cast of players. So I'd have to still stick with APC.
We got a lot of people in here talking about Plainview, man. We're gonna be some upset people if we don't get Plainview some love. So we had Plainview, Gibson Coleman. You talked about Gibson Coleman being in a dogfight. So they're going to take on the winner of Pleasant Hill. I think we're leaning towards Pleasant Hill there. What you got in that Class C state title game? Plainview, Gibson Coleman, or Pleasant Hill? Which way y'all leaning on that one, man? We got a lot of people talking Plainview. I know you had talked about Pleasant Hill being one of the top players. But what y'all thoughts on the Class C game?
I wish I knew more about Plainview, and I think it's great that the people from the town support it, but I have not gotten the opportunity to see Plainview. And I try to travel and get to as many tournaments as possible, but I haven't gotten the opportunity to check out Plainview. So in this one, I'm going to have to stick with Gibson Coleman because I see those boys play. Like I said, I watch them play during the school year. I also watch them. They all play for the same AAU team. So I'm going with Gibson Coleman. And I'd like to see them against Pleasant Hill. And even though I think that the kid from Pleasant Hill is special and they've got other players over there, I just think Gibson Coleman has got that championship DNA. They've won a couple of state titles over the past few years. It's a small town, and what they do is play basketball. The kids down there are hungry. They compete really hard. So I'm going with the hometown boys again with Gibson Coleman to compete and win in the state championship this year.
Josh, have you seen the media guide, or have any of y'all seen the media guide for the boys? I just see the credentials and stuff. At this time last week, we had the media guide for the girls where we can pull up and see like who's the top leading scorer. Have y'all seen that in y'all's email yet? I haven't seen it.
I don't think I've seen it. It might be on the homepage, but I don't see it either.
Oh, I want to check the homepage and see if it's on there for me. What's the guys in the comments with Lacassine, Miss Amanda? What is that guy's the boy's name that's really good over there? They commented last time in the comments as well. What's his name?
From Plainview?
No, from Lacassine. There's a kid that's really good at Lacassine that people have been talking about the last couple weeks. Yeah, I wish they had the media guide. I guess they just haven't got to putting it up yet. So I apologize on that. It's a lot easier when you get the media guide in front of you to kind of break down and shout out some people. But y'all got anything else y'all want to keep commenting on Tuesday's games, or we keeping it moving? Kane Broussard, that's his name. Yep, Kane Broussard.
Let me throw in something on on Simsboro, Lacassine. So Simsboro beat the team they played again last week by over 30 points. Simsboro is playing with a lot of confidence. I don't think their record reflects how good of a team they are. They were missing their point guard for a good part of the season. I think he broke his wrist. The kid's name is Trumarian Smith. So he transferred from Lincoln Prep. He transferred from Simsboro to Lincoln Prep and then back to Simsboro. So and he played in the state semifinals last year. He's a kid that's playing with a ton of confidence, and he really leads that team. He's a kid that he's had a couple of triple doubles this year. He can score. He does really, really good at facilitating, he's just a tough defender. And around him, you've got Caleb Modest, Ahmad Smith, and a couple of other guys. Justin Prudhomme, just really good shooters that could really get hot and get going at any given time. So I have not seen much of Lacassine, but I try to support the hometown guys because I get the opportunity to see them play. And along with Simsboro, they didn't play the softest schedule either. They played a bunch of 5A teams around this area. They played West Ouachita. They played Neville. So I'm big on teams being battle tested, and I really think that Simsboro is going to be the team to get an upset in this round over Lacassine.
And again, it gets to where we got a little bit of, again, history-wise, right? Lacassine has only won one state title. The last time they made a state championship appearance was 1976. So these guys are on like a historic run, right? And you got Simsboro, who's just known. I mean, they've won, I think, 6 or 7 state titles. Boyles Charter, talking about three-peat loading. Like, there's just different levels once you get to these classifications where some of these guys are going on historic runs like Rose Pine. I mean, Calvary Baptist is going on a historic run of their own, but they've also never won it either, right? So you start getting down there, it's a little bit more pressure. Or is there not pressure? I don't know. It's just something to kind of keep the conversation going. But nonetheless, man, we'll go ahead and jump into Wednesday. Josh, you got anything else you want to add on Tuesday, or are you ready for Wednesday?
Not so much. I did check out. Somebody dropped a highlight for one of the kids at which school was it? I just Plainview, I think. But that's
Plainview. Yep,
Plainview.
Yeah, Zaquan. He caught a body first highlight. That's what you do with your highlight. Put the body first.
Yes, sir. I love it, man. Hey, they got some talent. Looks like it in Class C and B, man. So I'm excited. Even for these Tuesday games, being the smaller classification, sounds like we got a lot of kids with some chips on their shoulders. A lot of teams, programs with chips on their shoulders as well. So wouldn't be surprised if we see some upsets, man. We're going to jump into Wednesday. And with this comment right here from Amanda, you're missing out if you haven't seen Lacassine play. I'm excited. I'm excited to see them play a team that has not lost a game since their first game of the season. That's definitely going to be fun. Shaw Madison Prep, man. Josh, man, you want to take us away with that one, man? That's going to be the matchup that I think we kind of all was hoping for. It's going to be a fun one. What's your thoughts on that matchup, man?
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, okay. I wanted to see how. Yeah, Shaw is just rolling. I mean, 70-41 over Thibodeau last week, or David Thibodeau last week, and then 75-31 against Parkview Baptist the round before. I think they're the favorite here. Madison Prep's still a little bit young, like I've mentioned, in the last couple streams. Elijah Gardner's a sophomore, is their top guy, and then Will Nelson, who's a freshman, is their top, their second guy is a forward. But you can kind of step out and do a lot of different things. With Shaw, they're just stacked, honestly. Their top 5 is super rock solid. And then they've got Dennis Hill coming off the bench too, who can give him some good minutes. But I mentioned him all before. Kobe Butler is a Jackson State signee. Tristan Akeem is gonna be is a 2027 kid. He's like 6'7", 6'8". He's gonna be a Division I player. And then 2 really good guard play with Alan Shaw and Khalil Arakbara and Christian Clare, who's a freshman. So I think they've got the upper hand here. I would be pretty surprised to see them get tripped up right here.
I mean, it's a rematch of the game of November 19th. With football still in, not really sure how much you can weigh into that game. But Shaw did defeat Madison Prep first game of the season. Tatum, man, you got anything else you want to add to that one before we jump into the next one?
What'd you say, Josh?
Yeah, I was actually at the Shaw and Madison prep game. I forgot about that. And Alan Shaw wasn't playing yet. I think Shaw actually had a couple other. Well, no, Jackson Williams wouldn't have been playing then either. Who's not with the team anymore. But yeah, anyway, I think I forgot about that. They beat him pretty short-handed. So I think I think Shaw is the favorite here.
I'm going to have to agree with Josh on this one. I've watched Shaw and I've watched Madison Prep. Both teams are really stacked. But if I'm going with the team, I'm going to go with the team that looks to have more experience. Madison Prep does have those good young players that you talked about, but I'm going with experience in this one. I'm going to roll with you, Josh, on Shaw.
Then we got Liberty and St. Aug, man. Josh, you talked about it, man. St. Aug kind of shocked us with not only the run that they're making, but how they're making it, man. There's some impressive wins. I'm not sure if you were able to catch some of those games, but you want to kind of talk about some of those scores, man, and they're tasked with the tall task of playing against a Liberty team. I don't think Liberty is like the best Liberty team we've ever seen, but they're just playing so well together. What's your thoughts on that Liberty versus St. Aug game?
Yeah, man. St. Aug is that's a really impressive win. 57-43. I mean, I was at state championships all day Friday, Saturday, so I really haven't been able to catch up and get details on any of this stuff. But I was kind of leaning towards Alexandria in this game, and St. Aug really just ran away with it, apparently. Wade Mason, who's that's his first year as a coach at St. Aug, like he's doing an incredible job. St. Aug, I don't know if they may have a guy or two who can play in college, but I don't know if their roster is like super stacked or anything like that. But they've got a really solid 7 to 8 guys who they can kind of rotate in, and you kind of never really know what Aaron Miles is. Aaron Miles Jr., who's the son of Aaron Miles, the Pelicans assistant. He's a sophomore and he's really good. If he gets some size on him, like he probably will have a chance to play college somewhere. Jacoby Shepard's a long 6'4", 6'5" kid. He's on the wing, kind of does a lot for him. And they got 2 pretty good bigs too with Braden Boyd, who's really bouncy. Like if he gets a chance on a break or even just like dump offs in that dunker spot, he'll put him down. And he's really active too. He'll get chased down blocks. Just a lot of energy whenever he's on the court. And Javardis Brazil gives him good minutes at that spot too. Is a really big kid. He's like 6'7" too. So I think that's the size is kind of helping them in their depth, along with their coaching. But again, Liberty is just the resume is just kind of untouchable. Even with all that said, I don't think I can pick anybody against Liberty.
I mean, it's still a very impressive win that they had. 14-point win over Ash, man. Yeah. But I mean, more impressively is Liberty holds Jesuit to 21. That is very impressive. I mean, they only scored 40, but still, I mean, that just talks about their defense there. Tatum, man, you want to dive in a little bit more into Liberty St. Aug?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Liberty in this matchup. They're a team I didn't get to see play until probably halfway through the season. One of the reasons that they can hold a team to only 21 points is because Malik Robinson leads the state. Not the state. He actually leads the nation in steals at 8.3 steals a game. Wow. To be able to lead the nation in steals at over 8 a game is just a testament to what type of defensive player you are. And he's playing at the 5A level. So give me Liberty and the way that they defend and the leadership that he's providing for that team, and the way that team has kind of come together and stayed together over the course of of the season. So give me Liberty over St. Aug.
I mean, I think that's going to be a little sneaky good one. More like a grinded out type of game. But yeah, defense is definitely going to travel for Liberty. Let's jump up to Hannon and Peabody. Getting 2 teams, very well coached. Your Hall of Fame coaches. One's already in the Hall of Fame. One probably will be shortly. It's going to be a really good matchup there as well. Josh, I mean, I'm sure you've seen Hannon over the years with Big Drew and everything, man. What's your thoughts on Hannon and Peabody matchup?
Yeah, I've seen Hannon a time or 2 this year. Again, Drew Timmons, like we've talked about before, is just unstoppable. One of the smoothest, easiest scorers that you'll come across. He just kind of gets wherever he wants on the floor whenever he kind of wants to. I mean, can't speed him up, and he's just a tough kid to deal with. I haven't seen Peabody, so I don't really have much to go off of there. But I know, Hannon, if they can get a couple guards to kind of step up, that sometimes they're a little bit up and down. But if they can get some consistent guard play with Drew, I think they got a pretty good chance to get past them.
Again, with tradition-wise, man, Peabody's won 9 state titles, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th most of all time out of any program. So we're talking about program tradition. Tatum, man, have you had a chance to catch Peabody this year, and you think they got a shot at Hannon this year?
So I have seen Peabody play. I've seen Peabody traveled up here to the north to play a few games. Peabody is a really tough team. They don't have a lot of size, but they do run. And I think them playing down south, the style of ball that they play, they don't shoot a lot of threes. So I think the style of basketball that they play kind of lends everything to be in their favor. And being a fan of history, I'm going to go with Peabody, the Hall of Fame coach, and the history that backs up them boys. So I'm going with Peabody in that matchup for the upset.
So I guess it's into the championship game, man. You got Shaw. One of us has Hannon. One of us has Peabody. What are we looking like in that matchup, man? Can anybody take down Shaw, or is it just Shaw's state title to run with, man? What's y'all's thoughts?
Yeah, I can't pick against Shaw this year. Again, I just think they're too tough. Even with Hannon, I mean, if it happened to be Hannon, I mean, they've got 2 bigs to kind of help, try to contain Drew. And both of them are really good on defense. Kobe Butler is at the rim trying to block everything. Tristan, they put him on the wing sometimes. Sometimes they just put him on whoever the other team's best player is, and like regardless, even if it's a guard or whatever, because he's that nimble, that good side to side laterally. He can guard guys out on the perimeter, in the paint, like wherever. So if they can stay out of foul trouble, maybe that could kind of be an X factor. Kobe does kind of get into foul trouble sometimes, like I said, because he's so aggressive trying to block shots. But, if those two can stay in the game and kind of keep Drew around, maybe 20 or so points, he's going to get his. But I think, they'll still be the team to beat here.
Again, Tatum, before you get going, man, again, history-wise, man, diving into the history, Shaw. Now, granted, I think they made it one year where they were forced to forfeit. What was this year that they were forced to forfeit? That was in 2000. But 2001 was the last time that Shaw's made it to the state championship game. And if you look at the old birth certificates on anybody on that team, no one was even born then. So they're looking to do some things that they've never seen in their lifetime. Before we get into it, man, Tatum, what's your thoughts, man? Can Shaw kind of shock the world here and go on a historic run?
So I'm going to go against Shaw because my Prep Hoops brother, he's got kids that play for that team, and I want to play devil's advocate. I'm going to stick with history on this pick, and I'm going to go with Peabody.
There you go. Shock the world, man. Going with the history, man. If anybody can get it done going to run, it's going to be teams like Zwally and Peabody, man. Just always find a way to get it done, man. Always find a way to get it done. Look, before we jump into this next one, man, we're going to throw a quick ad up here. Again, Sports Clips, guys. All you got to do is comment MVP. We had a couple people that didn't claim it from last time, man. So first person to comment MVP is going to win. And my video's not working. Whoops. All right, let's just go with it then. Here we go. Let me put myself up there. So first person to comment MVP will take home a free haircut, and that's going to be from Sports Clip Haircut. So all you got to do is comment MVP. I'll actually give away 2 free haircuts. So first person to comment MVP that comes up will get a free haircut from Sports Clips. That's good for anywhere in Louisiana. Get the free haircut. So this is our first person up here. DeMonk, man, shoot me a DM. And I will get that free haircut over to you. So DeMonk, as well as anybody else that comments MVP, will be entered into the free haircut. Shout out to Sports Clips. They got a cool little app now. All you do is download the app. You can log in and check the wait time. You can register to wait while you're driving to there. And whenever you get there, you're already on the wait list. You can get your haircut, get the massage, the hot towels, wash, all that goes into the Sports Clip MVP, man. But yeah, shoot me comments. Appreciate all the comments there. Again, we got some females commenting as well, Miss Weeks, man. It does not have to be a male. Just can't cheat on my bar. I understand that, man. But it doesn't have to be a male. It can go to anybody, man. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate Sports Clips for allowing us to bring this to you guys. But let's get back into it, man. All right, so Red River, man. We've been having a lot of people locking into the Red River. I feel like this is just a Red River open invitational, man. According to people in the comments, River is going to take on Marksville. Any thoughts on that game there, man? Or are we going to have to lean in the comments on that one, man? If we lean in the comments, I already know which way the comments going to go. But either y'all want to take that one away?
So I've watched Red River and Marksville. Marksville made a trip up here to play some games, but they played tough. But I think they might have won 1 out of 3. They really couldn't handle the physicality of the game that's played in Monroe, Louisiana. Red River, I saw them play. Red River can handle the physicality of the game. They've got a guard over there that I just don't think Marksville is going to be able to stop. So for this game, I'm taking Red River.
Josh, man, what's your thoughts, man? You going against the grain? We're going to stir the pot up, or we're going with Tatum and everybody in the comments?
Yeah, I don't want to get I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke.
You got us in trouble with the Kinley. You got us in trouble with the Kinley. When we bought into the Kinley matchup, man, that was a
Kinder win?
Yeah, Kinder. Yeah, Kinder.
Yeah.
that was pretty wild, man. So I mean, I definitely agree, man. I think Red River is going to rock and roll there, man. Let's get us down to the last matchup, man. We got Richwood here. Richwood Rams, 8 more quarters, man. That's definitely – it's crazy whenever you think about it, man. We just got 8 more quarters left of basketball to be played in your state champion. So all 40 teams, break it down like that, man. It's not that difficult to win a state title. 8 more quarters. You got Madison and Ridgewood, man. Tatum, that's a matchup that I think you've been looking forward to. What's your thoughts on that one, man? 4:30 Wednesday night, man. That should be a good one.
All right, so Madison versus Ridgewood is going to be an absolute powerhouse matchup. Up here, there's a guy that does rankings, and every week he comes out and does his rankings. And up until probably the 5th or the 6th week of the season, Ridgewood was ranked as number 1. Ridgewood's one of their top players got hurt, and he went out, and that pushed Madison Prep up. Not Madison Prep, but just Madison. I took a 2-hour trip out to Tallulah to watch Madison, and Madison is an absolute just fun team to watch. They're led by a kid named Marion White. Everybody in the gym call him Butter. Madison and Ridgewood is going to be an absolute powerhouse matchup. In this matchup, I'm going to have to go with Ridgewood. Ridgewood has Lavelle Lane, who's a top 5 2026 player in the state, Trayvon Varner, who can get to his spots and shoot the ball really well. And they're one of the only teams in the state that has a 6'10", 6'11" big that controls the rim, controls the paint on both sides of the goal. I'm taking Ridgewood with size. I hate to say it because I love to watch Madison play, but I just think Ridgewood is going to be too much. Ridgewood may be right now the best team in North Louisiana, and I just don't see anybody beating them on their way to picking up this state championship.
Ooh, that's some tough thoughts there, man. Josh, got anything to add on that, man? I'm gonna look in here.
Nah, not really. Again, these 2 teams I haven't seen. He's making a real case for Richwood. That was Richwood, man.
Again, man, I'm looking back at it. Richwood has not won a state championship since 2012. It's going on 13 years. Last appearance in the state championship was 2014. And Madison, getting Madison Prep in there a lot, hasn't made it for quite some time. Madison's last appearance was 2007. They won in 2006. So, again, both these teams here are going to be making a state title appearance for the first time in about 10 years. But we're going to keep it moving to arguably the craziest night of them all, man. Thursday night, man. Josh, man, talk about John Curtis, man. What a freaking run they were on. We'll let Tatum lick his wounds a little bit from that St. Thomas More Huntington half-court heave, that buzzer beater. St. Thomas More, if you haven't seen that one, man, we shared it on our social media, but Huntington hit a buzzer beater half-court shot to send St. Thomas More hit a buzzer beater half-court shot to send Huntington home. Josh, man, can John Curtis get it done, man? Can John Curtis get it done? What's your thoughts?
Man, this game probably shocked me more than any other, even more so than like St. Aug or maybe even Ruston. But I had seen Curtis, they had been a little bit up and down, but they had been playing really well lately. They had just lost to St. Aug, not too pretty close towards the end of the season, and I saw them against Country Day. And Country Day really, I mean, that was just kind of a rough game for him. I know Artrell was sick. That was early in the season. But I mean, to be Catholic on the road in that environment is that is a hell of a win. Like I'm super impressed with them coming away with that one. Coach Biko Paris over there obviously doing a great job. Artrell Manning, like we mentioned last time, was a 4-star kid. I saw Xavier Shepard also picked up an offer from Delgado recently. He's a 2027 kid. He's a knockdown shooter. Like if he gets hot, I've seen him hit 7-8 threes in a game. He's still young, so sometimes he's a little inconsistent. But when he gets rolling, like he can be a problem out there. Jarvis Stevenson is a kid I definitely have to mention too. I saw him recently just post an offer from UNO. He's a freshman, like probably like 6'6", 6'7", and he's a two-sport kid too because he plays football, and he's a really good receiver too. But he's really been coming on like as of late, early because obviously he was coming from football, to start the season and in the middle of the season, and he's really been playing well for them. Jules Tapp is another kid, 2027 kid, who's another football kid that they got in, around mid-season. So I think those guys are really kind of starting to find their footing and just kind of getting really acclimated to playing with each other. And I think that's kind of contributing to, what we're seeing right now with them.
So St. Thomas More, John Curtis, think John Curtis got enough to get it done, or St. Thomas More is going to be too talented?
I think they do have a chance for sure. I'll roll with Curtis. Huntington already gave St. Thomas More a run. And I don't know if this is one of their stronger teams. I haven't seen St. Thomas More yet this year, but I'll go with Curtis just because they showed me a lot with that Catholic win.
Again, looking at the history of things, man, St. Thomas More's won 7 state titles. John Curtis has only won 1. So, again, a little bit of difference in history there. St. Thomas More is,
What year was that? Is that like 2000?
John Curtis?
Yeah.
John Curtis won it in 2012 over Riverside.
I think that's the Kyle Morgan and Richard Durant team, I think.
I bet that was a good game over Riverside. I bet that was a crazy game. Tatum, man, what's your thoughts, man? St. Thomas More, you just hoping everybody beats them, or are you moving over to the dark side? Man.
So, look, I have not shown St. Thomas More any love, but the wins that they've been able to put together, they beat the team that I had picked to kind of be the Heartbreak Boys and make it all the way down there. So you beat my squad. So I'm going with St. Thomas More.
St. Thomas. I mean, and it's something interesting to talk about in this next little matchup where on the right side you got Central BR, Denham Springs, and Zachary. Like that's kind of all in the same area, right? They're all kind of competing for the same titles. And it's kind of that suburbs of the BR area where you got Central kind of broke away from the Baton Rouge school board. Zachary doing their own school board as well. Denham Springs, you can argue is right there as well. Just something to kind of keep an eye on. There's a lot of town in that BR area and even in the suburb area, right? We talked about Liberty and all those teams as well. But even kind of in that suburb area, I would include Zachary, Denham Springs, and Central as well. Josh, we talked about it, man. We thought Denham was going to get upset. Tatum as well, man. We had Rustin going in there, but Denham got it done, man. For those that don't know, they're actually going through some some issues. Their gym floor buckled, so they had to play their playoff games at Walker. They actually won the game, made to the top 28 for the first time in a long time, and they actually cut down the nets at Walker, which is pretty interesting. But nonetheless, man, they're going to travel down to Lake Charles. Do they have enough to take down Central? It's one of Denham Springs' best teams in a long, long time. One of Central's best teams in a long, long time, man. Kind of throwing me back to my days in high school. What's y'all's thoughts on that Central BR and Denham Springs game?
I'm going to go with Denham Springs because they beat Ruston. I thought Ruston was the best team, the best 5A team in the state. They broke my heart with that win. So Denham Springs. I've followed them all season. They got a really good set of twins. I think the guard over there, I think his name is Trey Dorsey. I've kept up with the team, but if you beat Ruston, I'm just, you got me on your side until you lose. So I'm going with Denham Springs going all the way and playing in the state championship against Zachary.
And just for history purposes, they haven't made it that far since 1956. Josh, man, what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I think I'm with Tatum here. Again, I thought really highly of Ruston too. Granted, I haven't had a chance to see either of these teams, but I kind of do lean towards Denham. I've been hearing a lot about them, kind of throughout the season. I even saw a few people picking them before the playoffs even started. But I think that's definitely going to be a battle because Central has some really impressive wins. Like they got a really a tough resume. So I think that one's going to be real close, but I think I might lean Denham.
I mean, looking at the history, man, last time that Central made it was, I think it was 1994. So one of these teams is going to make it to the state championship for the first time in 30 years, man. That's crazy, man. A lot on the line, a lot of history, a lot of tradition on the line. Then they're going to take on the winner of Zachary Natchitoches Central, man. Zachary girls, shout out to them. They got it done. Won a state title. Can the boys get it done on their side? We talked about it before, man. It is very hard to win at Natchitoches Central. Natchitoches Central got their quarterfinal win at home. They'll take on Zachary, man. What's y'all's thoughts on that Zachary versus Natchitoches Central game?
I really like Natchitoches Central, but I like Zachary better. Zachary is a team. They play really well together. I love their point guard. I mean, really 1 through 5, Zachary is just a strong team. They don't have a lot of size, but neither does Natchitoches Central. So if I'm going based off what I've seen from both of these teams, I just think it's Zachary's time to make it back down there. So give me Zachary.
It's a rematch of the 2021 state championship game. And this is teams that we've seen a lot, right? Where Central Denham Springs, we haven't seen them for 20-something years. Zachary and Natchitoches Central are teams that we've seen kind of year in, year out. Natchitoches Central lost to Ponchatoula last year. Josh, what's your thoughts, man? Can Natchitoches Central shock the world, get back to the state title game, or is Zachary's year to advance again?
Yeah, I mean, I lean Zachary here. Again, haven't seen Natchitoches, but, I've caught a good bit of Zachary, and, they played a loaded schedule this year. I mean, they played just about anybody. They came down here to play Shaw. I mean, they're already in the super tough district. And they had one slip up late. I think I want to say they lost to Slidell pretty late in the season, but they're just a real tough team. Xavier Ferguson, is really the guy for them. He's a senior, and I think it might be his time. I know he would like to go out, with a championship there.
But with this comment right here, can you confirm that did Central beat Zachary? That'd be an interesting rematch in the final, Central versus Zachary there. What's
their website is acting up. I can't get to any of the schedules right now.
Yeah, it's all kind of messing up. Zachary boys get it done according to that comment. We'll recap after this these next 2 games, kind of who we picking for each classification. But I think it's the Minden and Bossier, man. How's the saying go, Tanner, man? It's all about the B. Or hit them with
There's nothing bigger than the B.
Yeah, man.
So
let them know, man. Let them know about Bossier, man. What's going on over there?
Well, look, but before I get to my Bossier thoughts, I picked Franklin Parish last week to beat Minden. I saw Minden play early in the season. They've got some really tough kids, and I think I mentioned that they had a couple of guys that had picked up some offers from Centenary. But my question about Minden was I didn't really feel that they were all that battle tested. So on Friday night, I took a trip out to Minden and sat in the stands, and it was kind of funny because Franklin Parish jumped out on Minden, and it really looked like Franklin Parish was about to run off with the victory. And I was sitting next to this kid's dad, and his dad kept screaming, "Get to the rim, Darnell! Get to the rim, Darnell!" And I'm gonna tell you something. His kid, I think his name is Darnell Morrison, literally just took the game over. Franklin Parish did not have an answer for Darnell Morrison in that game. He put on a special performance along with, I can't remember what his shooter's name is, but what I saw from Minden on Friday night just showed me that regardless of what kind of schedule they played, the kids that they have on that team, you have to play who's in front of you. And they won the majority of their games because they're a really good team and they're a complete team. But with that being said, I'm going with Bossier all over again. I've been a fan of Bossier since I saw them play at Grambling High. There's nothing bigger than the B. I got the opportunity to hang out in that gym today to work out. I just think Carell Dean, David Thomas. I wish I could remember some more of the other kids' names, but with that, the last game of the season, they beat Calvary Baptist. They play a really tough schedule. They played a prep school out of Houston. Just Bossier is just a tough team. They're the only team that I know of in Shreveport or the Shreveport-Bossier area that gets down south consistently and wins. They're coached really well, and I just think they're a team that's built to play in the in the state championship game. So give me Bossier. No disrespect to Minden. I could be wrong on this one, but if I gotta hang my hat on one, give me Bossier.
Man, it's a tale of two sides again, man. Minden has not made the state championship game since 1959. 1959. I know my man Chuck Hunt's been on here about being to a lot of games, man. Some games you've been at, man, throwing some knowledge out there. I don't know if he was at the last time Minden was there. 1959. So again, got a lot of teams trying to play. I guess put their names in the record books, man. And we got Bossier's been there so many times, and it's just very, very interesting storylines with a lot of these matchups. Josh, man, I mean, what's your thoughts here, man? You're going with the B as well, man. It seems like that's a safe bet. But Minden, man, trying to shock the world, man. You're going devil's advocate here, man? You're going with a safe bet?
Again, these two teams I haven't seen. I really don't know too much about them. But what'd you say the kid's name was? The Marion that they couldn't stop?
Darnell Morrison.
Darnell Morrison. Let's go, Darnell.
Darnell gets to the rim, Morrison.
Darnell gets to the rim.
When your dad hollers at you to get to the rim, make sure you listen. And everything will go according to plan. So I'll take Minden for
gets it done, man. Hey, last but not least, man, Wasserman. We've been calling it the Wasserman imitation on the girls' side, man. Wasserman girls go 4 straight, back to back to back to back. Wasserman boys now on the clock, man. Somebody commented in here before they made it to 10 straight Final Fours. That is crazy. Man, could anybody stop Wasserman, man? Wasserman and Bruley, we've been talking about Baton Rouge basketball being better than some areas. Is Baton Rouge basketball better than Wasserman basketball? I don't know, man. Bruley's schedule, I think Josh talked about it last week. It's not as high as some of the other teams in the BR area. Tatum, man, what's your thoughts, man? Wasserman rolls or Bruley with the upset here?
There's no way that there's going to be an upset in this game. I'm taking Wasserman all day long. The storyline behind Wasserman and losing one of their best players in Trey Mason and Zion Weeks stepping in to take control of that team and really be the leader of that team. Just watching them kind of play week in and week out. It's actually been a little bit selfish of me as a scout because I've skipped out on games to go watch Wasserman play just to see how they performed when any of the top teams came up here to play. I watched them play Liberty. I watched them play Zachary. I watched them play Washita. I've literally watched them play everybody. In every game, they just figure out a way to win. Zion Weeks is the point guard and the leader of that team. They've got another really good guard over there, Davey Mays, another kid that's really good on defense, Morgan Robinson. Probably a kid that's going to be one of the top freshmen in the state, Cordarius Williams. I mean, I could talk about Wasserman all day. I'm taking Wasserman to get past Brusely. Because if Brusely hasn't played a tough schedule, we might see a situation where you see a team get beat by 20 or 25 points in the semifinals.
Hey, Josh, before you talk, man, just know, man, Miss Weeks, Mama Weeks is on the broadcast as well, man. You don't want to fire him up too much, man. So
I see her down there, and I know she. Oh. Yeah, don't Miss Weeks, please don't come at me because I'm taking Wasserman anyway. Really, yeah, out of like we mentioned, Bruley's schedule wasn't that as tough as you might expect, with them playing in that Baton Rouge area. And the team when they beat Frank, they demolished Franklinton last
They had a
Tuesday. I
running
mean,
clock.
really, they've been rolling through the playoffs. But they played Franklinton, who was a 13 seed that got an upset over Carroll, but they beat Carroll partly in part because I don't know if we mentioned it on the stream, but Trey Neal breaking his foot, I think they said really early in that game. And so maybe Bruley kind of got a little bit of a break there playing a team that might not have got past Carroll there. So I'm rolling with Watson for sure.
I love it, man. Hey, look, let's get through it, man. Let's recap. Let's put our name on out there, man. Let's go through each classification, man, and let's pick some winners, man. State championships of each group, man. We'll start with the bottom and work our way up, man. Class C is where you got Pleasant Hill, Georgetown, Gibbs-Coleman, and Plainview. Tatum, man, we'll start out with you, man. I know you're a Gibbs-Coleman fan. Talk about Pleasant Hill having one of the best players in the state, kind of regardless of classification. And we got a lot of fans on talking about Plainview, man. Who you going with, man? Who's bringing home the hardware?
Score one for the country boys. Give me Gibb.
Ooh-wee. All right, you heard it here, man. Josh, man, what about you, man? Phoenix ain't in it no more, but Gibbs-Coleman defeated them by 21, man. I know we ain't got a lot of B and C in our area, but who you got in that Class C matchup?
I really don't have much insight here. I'll go Pleasant Hill because they're the 1 seed.
Pleasant Hill, I like it, man. I like it. We got a little versatility in there. We're going a little back and forth. We talked about it. Lacassine's the 1 seed. They're taking on Simsboro. A little bit of a difference in the trophy room there, where Simsboro's got quite a few. Lacassine's only got 1. You got Zwolle at the bottom. Most state championships in the history of any program in Louisiana, taking on Boyles Public Charter, man. Class B. Josh, we're going to lead you off with this one, man. Lacassine, Simsboro, Zwolle, or APC?
Yeah, I've heard enough on APC. I'm going APC. They sound super legit. I think
APC might be the one out front in here, man. Guys, let us know in the comments, man. We got some people in there with Plainview. Hey, if Plainview wins, man, we're gonna definitely hear it.
We are gonna hear it. Yeah, they've been in there. Plainview is heavy in here.
Yeah, we're gonna hear it on Friday night, man. Tatum, who you got, man? Class B, Lacassine, Simsboro, Zwolle, or APC?
I'm gonna go with the upset boys. I'm taking Simsboro with Truman Smith, Jacayla Modis, Ahmad Smith, JP Prudhomme. I'm taking the hometown boys. I think Simsboro has that championship DNA. Them boys that all played in state championships. They hang out with boys that done won state championships. I love APC, but I love Simsboro even more. Upset alert. Give me Simsboro for the state championship.
Man, the 1 seed ain't got a chance, they say, man. The 1 seed ain't got a chance. Poor Lacassine, man. We're going to head down to Division 4 Select. Again, guys, let us know in the comments, man. Comment who you guys think in each division, man. Let us know. 13 from Plainview's the best player in C. Man, we're going to definitely hear about it and if Plainview wins. I can hear it now, man. Division 4 Select. We got Crescent City, Hamilton Christian. It's been all chalk. Southern Lab, Lincoln Prep. Tanner, man, you going with your heart on this one, man, or what you got, man? Who you got in Division 4 Select?
I'm going with my heart on this one. The upset boys in the building again. Lincoln Prep with Trey Spann, To the Pain, Zion Hunter, and crew. Give me the boys from Grambling.
I love it. Josh, what you got, man? Crescent City connection all the way, man? Or where are we going? We going with the hometown boys, or you're going to shock the world with us?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the hometown team, and I'm gonna stick with Dwight. Dwight, don't make me look crazy. Go get buckets.
That's gonna be a fun one, man. That's gonna be a fun one. We'll jump it down. We're gonna go all the way to Division 4 non-select. We got Benton, Faraday, East Iberville, and Franklin. We didn't know a lot about either of these teams, man. But what you guys thinking? Division 4 non-select. We got Benton versus Faraday, and East Iberville versus Franklin. East Iberville is a 6 seed. What y'all's thoughts on that one?
I don't really know much about any of those teams.
We're gonna plead the fifth on this one.
I'm gonna plead.
Wait, which
You know
division
what?
did you go to?
Who's number one?
Number one is Vinton.
Let's go with Vinton.
Wait, which division are we in?
This is Division 4 non-select. We're going back to non-select now.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up. Division 4 non-select. Oh, okay. Vinton Fair. Oh, yeah. I don't know anything about these guys.
Faraday was the only team with a double-digit win in the quarters.
Okay, yeah, I am. Yeah, we got some close scores in these quarters. I'll do Vinton again since they're the 1 seed. I got nothing here.
We're going straight chalk.
If he's gonna take Vinton, let me switch it up. Let me get Faraday because they are part of the 318 clique. So give me Faraday for the 318 boys, man. I'm
Faraday representing, man. All right, we're jumping down to Division 3 select. How do I claim my prize? Oh man, I love it, man. Shoot me a. You talking about the MVP? Look, shoot me a DM, and I'll shoot it to you. It's just a quick little Google form, and they'll get you that free haircut. Appreciate you for joining us, man. Just shoot me a DM. Division 3 select. Again, guys, comment what y'all think as well. We got Calvary Baptist, Rose Pine looking to do the unthinkable. Calvary Baptist never won a state championship. I guess they're looking to do the unthinkable as well, man. And then you got Country Day and Dunham at the bottom half, man. Tatum, man, you lead us off on this, man. What you think?
318 boys all the way. I'm picking every team that's in the 318. So give me Calvary Baptist and Vic Morris with that amazing team that he has over there to win their first state championship.
Josh, what you got, bro? What you got, man?
Yeah, for this one, I gotta go Calvary, even over my southern teams in Baton Rouge and New Orleans. I think they got too much.
All right, if Rose Pine comes in here and knocks off Newman and then knocks off Calvary Baptist, we don't want to hear nothing, man. We want all the smoke, man. Y'all let us know. And my man Hayden's gonna go off for a 40 piece again, man. My man Hayden's going off for a 40 piece. All right, we're going back Division 3 non-select now. We got Madison taking on Richwood and Marksville versus Red River. Again, we get a lot of bad comments about the PowerPoint ranking system. But at the end of the day, man, for the most part, we got the top 4 seeds in there kind of all the way through.
Yeah.
Josh, man, you lead us off with this one, man. Madison versus Ridgewood and Marksville, Red River. Who you got?
I'm trying to remember who I picked earlier, and it was let you know how much I don't know about these teams. I think I said Madison earlier. And, I'm going to stay chalk because I'm already a favorites type of guy. Like, I'm not going against Bama during a run, not going against the Patriots. Like, so I'll go chalk and stay with Madison.
Hey, chalk won a lot on the girls' side, man. Tatum, what you got, man?
It was a bunch of chalk over there. We only had like one upset.
One upset. Yep, one upset in the championship. Tatum, what's your thoughts, man, on this division?
For this division, I'm taking Richwood. Richwood is too big, too strong, too skilled. And I feel like Trey Lane, he had to sit out for about half of the season. So sometimes sitting over there watching your team struggle ignites your fire. I'm taking the mid-range killer and Richwood to win the whole thing.
I like that we get some respect to Rose Pine. Like we got people talking about the other team, but we're still respecting Rose Pine, man. Shout out to Rose Pine, man. Get it done, man. Division 2 select. We got Shaw versus Madison Prep, Peabody versus Hannon. Can Big Drew get it done, Josh? Or are we going chalk again with Shaw, man? Well, who you got on this side?
Yeah, like I've been saying all of these streams, man, I got Shaw. I think they're too tough. And the crazy part is a lot of these kids are going to be back next year. They'll lose two seniors, Kobe Butler and Khalil, and Dennis Seal, who comes off the bench for them. But still, with the guys they got coming back with Allen and Christian Clare, who's a freshman, and Tristan, I think this is going to be their year.
Tatum, what you think, man? We got somebody in the comments talking Madison Prep. Jeff Jones gets it done, man. Is that where you're rolling, man? Or are you going back with Shaw, the living legend himself at Peabody, man? With Big Drew? Got a couple ways we can go here.
I'm going to go with Peabody, man.
Peabody. I like it, man. I like it, man.
Yes, sir. I'm going to go with Peabody.
The last championship for Shaw?
What's that?
You had the last championship for Shaw?
Let's get it, man. I'm going to get it for you. We got Shaw's last championship. They've won 2 titles. Last championship for Shaw was in 2000, which they had to forfeit that title. So their last title on record was 1997. No one on Shaw's roster was born in either of those. So they're looking to do a little bit of history there.
Yeah, I think they made it to the championship, or maybe that was semis a couple years ago. Or they might have made
last
it
time they made it to the championship was 2001. They lost to Jesuit.
So that must have been a semis game where they played Madison Prep. I want to say this is a little bit of a rivalry right here. I want to say these two have played like a few times in the last few years, in the playoffs too. I think
in the playoffs. That's what's up. That's what's up.
I think so.
Again, guys, comment what y'all think, man. Let us know y'all's thoughts as well. Where were we at? Let me see. We are going to Division II non-select. We got the Wasserman Invitational, as we like to call on the girls' side, man. Looks like it's going to be the Wasserman Invitational on the boys' side, unless y'all say otherwise. Wasserman versus Bruley and Bossier and Minden. Can anybody take down Wasserman? Or are we just going to go ahead and size the rings now, man? Tatum, man, you get a start on this one. What you think?
Hey, Wasserman and Bossier are probably two of my favorite teams to watch. Bossier is the team that normally gets down south from the north and represents for the north. But I think Wasserman is having a special season. The girls won. I think Wasserman boys do exactly the same thing that they did last year. And the Wasserman Wildcats bring home boys and girls state championships this year.
Ooh-wee. It's a great comment right here, too. Coach Smith is number 4 all-time in the U.S. in wins, man. That's a pretty good person, a pretty safe bet to go on when it comes down to semifinals and championships. Josh, man, you're gonna buck the order, man. We're going with the chalk again, man. Is it bigger than a B or Wasserman all the way?
I am not. Call me Mr. Chalk because I'm going Wasserman here. And on the last note with Shaw, they Madison Prep beat Shaw the last 2 seasons in the semifinals. So I know Shaw gonna be looking for the get back.
Yeah, that's gonna be definitely. They've been looking for that one for sure. Got a lot of people with Bruley, man. Bruley upsets are gonna be a lot of people talking about it, man. A lot of people talking about it. That gets us down to Division I select. What you said?
I was just saying that one would surprise me.
That would definitely be bigger upsets. Okay, guys, let us know in the comments, man, what you think. Division I select. Who's winning that title? You got Liberty, number 1. St. Aug taking on St. Aug, there 4. St. Thomas More with the half-court buzzer beater over Huntington. And then John Curtis upset at Catholic, man. Josh, man, you lead us off on this one, man. Division I select. Can anybody take down Liberty?
Yeah, again, like I've been saying the whole time, like the resume is just too much for me. They beat too many good teams in a short stretch, a long stretch over the season. That last run that they had through district, which it's got to be the toughest district in the state, at least top 2. I don't see anybody taking down Liberty. I'll say they can be beat, but they deserve the benefit of the doubt. I'm going Liberty.
Tatum, what you think, man? Same thing, or we going devil's advocate here?
No, sir. I'm not going to do devil's advocate. I'm rocking with Josh on this one. Liberty plays the game with a chip on their shoulder. They're easily one of the meanest teams in the state. Give me Liberty. I think they're having a special season, and I don't want to be the one to say that they're not going to win when they're having a season as special as the one is that they're having.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. Can anybody come within 10 points or with both these wins in the semifinals and state title game be by double digits? What's y'all's thoughts on that? Double-digit wins both games?
It's the state championship game. Everybody done paid their dues. I don't think there's going to be any blowouts. I think foul trouble and the ability to hit shots in that big gym is going to play a major factor in who's able to win. I think the teams that can shoot the best 3-ball and defend at the highest level are going to be the teams that come out victorious. But I've been down there a bunch of times, and it just seems like teams don't shoot the ball from 3 really well in that big gym.
Right.
You agree, Josh?
Yeah, I think most of these will be close. I don't think I see any blowouts coming. But like you mentioned, that 3-point is can be a big deal. The court's a little bit bigger. It's just the depth perception is different. And Liberty does have a couple guys that like to shoot it. Kareem Washington and Chivas Lee are really their two knockdown guys from outside. Malik is more of a penetrator distributor. But, if those two maybe, kind of struggle early, maybe the confidence gets a little, shaky or whatever the case. But if those two are hitting early, then, it's going to be tough to beat Liberty.
Hey, we got some people in the comments, man. We sleeping on Red River, man. Red River beat Bossier, man. We sleeping on Red River.
They did.
What were you saying, Josh?
Fair. Yeah, I was gonna say Liberty does have some experience in that gym because they played there last year, and then they win. They won last year, I think.
They won last year.
Yeah. So Chivas was knocking them down too. That's number 5. I think he might have had like 4 or 5 threes in that game. So depth perception might not be an issue for him.
Hell yeah. Well, we definitely saw Oakdale Lady Warriors win their second title in 3 years, man. Shout out to Coach Renata Edwards, man, and the Oakdale Lady Warriors. The sisterhood gets it done again, man. That was a great game and a great performance by them, man. Leads us to our last but not least, man, Division I non-select. Zachary versus Natchitoches Central, Dillon Springs, and Central BR. 3 teams really from the same area. Then sprinkling the Chiefs, man, of Natchitoches Central. Is it Zachary winning the boys and girls on the D1 side, or can somebody else play spoiler? Josh, man, I'll let you get it kicked off first, man. What's your thoughts?
I am, I've been chalked this whole time, and I'm not chalked this time. I'm going Denham. I don't know. I've just been hearing a lot about them again. I haven't seen Denham or Central, but just kind of from what I've heard and a little bit of what I've seen, I just kind of feel like this might be the year.
You heard it here first. Dillon Springs wins their first state championship since 1956. Tatum, man, what's your thoughts, man? He's leaving Zachary on the table for you, man. You gonna take the bite, man, or you going somebody else?
You know what? I'm gonna take the bite, even though Denham Springs beat Reston, who I really thought was one of the best teams in 5A, one of the best teams in the state. I think I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Zachary and hope they can get some revenge on Denham Springs for breaking the Bearcat Hearts. So give me Zach.
It's gonna be interesting, man. Zachary's won 6 titles. Their last title was 2022, so a little bit more recent when they went 21-22. They went back-to-back, so probably the more experienced group there. May not have as many guys on the roster, although that was 3 years ago. Probably still got a little bit of familiarity with them. So definitely a team to beat there. But yeah, man, appreciate everybody for joining us, man. Appreciate everybody for joining us and tuning in. Game start tomorrow. We'll get that game going. If you're looking for games, man, that's why I went ahead and used this graphic here. LHSA Network. We broadcasting all these games. I think it's like $15 a month to sign up for that. You can sign up for it for 1 month and cancel it. You can watch all the games if you can't get out there. We'll be broadcasting a lot of games. I know Josh will be out there as well. Follow him. Tatum will be coming down there as well, man. Make sure you guys give him a follow. You guys want to leave us out with any closing remarks, man?
I guess that's,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You got it, Tatum.
Oh, look, I'm gonna be down there. I probably won't make it down there until Wednesday or Thursday. But if you see me in the gym, stop me, say what's up. If your team beat my team or the team that I picked, buy me a bag of popcorn. Hopefully, I'll be able to sit down there in the media department with 25 bags of popcorn. I really tried to support the teams that I got the opportunity to see. But when you see me down there, just know that I'm really rooting for everybody to win. But somebody has to take the trophy home. It's been a pleasure watching these boys play and compete. And this is about to be the best week of basketball that we've had this whole year. But like I said, if your team beat my team and you want to charge me up about it, buy me a bag of popcorn and we can talk about the game.
Yeah, same here. I agree. If you're gonna yell at me, at least get me some popcorn first. Like that will only be like right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'll probably get down. Well, I know I'll be there Wednesday for that slate of games. I think I'll cover probably at least 3 of those, and then I'll just kind of take it by see where it goes from there. But yeah, appreciate everybody watching for sure.
No doubt, man. And, you know, a big reason why we're going down there, man, is these post-game press conferences. So if you haven't already, click the like button and just like our page. That way, every time we post a video, better get. I'm really an advocate about that. You know, I've been in the semifinals and they not have a post-game press conference. I'm a real advocate about that. So we'll be down there all week doing the post-game press conferences like that. Just recaps of the season. You get to talk to the two players and the coach and kind of recap everything. So. But yeah, man, best of luck to everybody, man. Tag us in anything, man. Tag all three of us in anything. We'd love to repost everything. I mean, between the three of us, I'm probably looking at 60, 70,000 followers. So it's definitely a huge advocate for all basketball here, man. So if you guys need anything from us, just shoot us a tag, shoot us a DM, talk to us, holler at us, man. We love to talk some basketball. But guess I'll see everybody this week, man. Safe travels to you two guys, man. And